NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
We know how.
The answer is no. California rejects San Diego's request to exclude SDSU's cases, coronavirus cases, from the COVID-19 data. But county leaders do plan on asking the governor to reconsider. Otherwise, we are heading into the purple. It's the most restrictive tier. Thanks for joining us for the Nightly Check-In. I'm Mark Mullen. So, at today's briefing, county officials say they are not giving up on their request for the governor to reconsider, including San Diego State's case rate, which has really just been spiking lately, and our county's case rate. The county's argument is that the university's case count accounts for 1/4 of the county's case count, but because the population overall is young and largely healthy, the students who have tested positive are not being hospitalized. They say less than 10 people who have no affiliation with the university have gotten COVID through contact tracing from a San Diego State University student or staff member. They believe this proves that the cases there are mostly being contained to campus, or at least the campus area, and the corresponding zip code.
The number of cases in ICU and hospitalizations is not being impacted because of those cases from SDSU. That was one of the big criterias, one of the big focuses when we got started with this pandemic, was to make sure we don't adversely impact the ability of our hospitals in this region to respond to rising numbers.
All right, so we'll see if the governor reconsiders. If the county does go into the purple, more restrictive tier, most restrictive tier really, all newly reopened indoor operations would be forced to shut down again, except for barbershops and hair salons, largely because of the SDSU cases. Indoor retail and shopping centers may also remain open, but their capacity would be limited to 25%. San Diego's positivity rate today, meanwhile, was not bad, 3%. 264 new cases were reported out of more than 8,600 tests. In total, there are now 43,445 cases. Sadly, 6 more San Diegans have died, bringing the total to 748 people who have passed away in San Diego County alone because of COVID-19. No getting around it. A major factor driving up the COVID-19 numbers is the student outbreak at San Diego State. It has now been more than 24 hours since SDSU announced mandatory testing for on-campus students, but college area homeowners say the university is still dropping the ball by not testing the students, most of whom live off campus.
They just kind of deny that they're a huge player in this community. They're the biggest influence in the surrounding community. And they kind of pretend like they don't have that influence and they don't have responsibility for the surrounding community.
When asked today why the school is not testing students off campus, they said they don't have the authority to mandate testing to the general off-campus student population. Right now, there are 676 students that are COVID-19 positive or probable. 75% of those students live off campus. Culture Shock Dance Studio, which has been in San Diego in business for 17 years, is now on the brink of closing because of constantly changing COVID-19 guidelines. They say they applied for all of the grants and small business loans, but say it wasn't enough. They offered online classes. That wasn't enough to keep them afloat. On August 31st, they were able to open their doors, but only at 10% capacity. Now they are doing anything and everything they can to try and stay open.
We've cut every expense we possibly can, including salary cuts. Our desk staff are offering to volunteer. Sorry.
Yeah, it's so tough. Owners say they will be deciding, though, on Monday if the studio will stay open or close for the time being. But if our county were to move to that more restrictive purple tier, they say it would likely shut down their business for sure. Thousands of firefighters remain on the front lines of 25 major wildfires in California, including here in San Diego County. Crews are holding the containment line around the Valley Fire, which has been burning in the Cleveland National Forest near Alpine. Roughly 18,000 acres have burned. That fire is now listed as 90% surrounded. Okay, let's check in with Dagmar, get your conditions for Thursday and as we head towards the weekend.
Ending up seeing your Thursday now a little bit on the cooler side. Very similar to what you experienced Wednesday, but we're starting to see a little bit more in the way of some blue skies out there at least, so there's some positive news. The coast will be around that mid-80 mark. You will end up seeing those inland valleys at around the mid-90s. So again, still similar, but maybe 1 or 2 degrees cooler. Mountains now you're looking still at that mid to upper 80 mark. In the deserts you've got about the 108, 9, and 10 mark. So again, 1 to 2 degrees cooler. It's not much, but we are heading in the right direction.
NBC7's Nightly Check-In is sponsored by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating and Air, Flood and Restoration.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. Bill Howe. We know how.
We need a new AC.
I don't think we can afford one.
Well, I wish we knew how.
Did someone say how?
For a quality American-made air conditioner?
You know who to call.
Call 1-800-BILL-HOWE. We know how.
So as we spend more time at home these days, we're finding new hobbies. One business is having a big boom in sales during this pandemic. Sewing Machines Plus has 2 store locations in San Diego, but people can also order items online. When the stay-at-home order went into place, they became an essential business because they were making masks and providing supplies for people to make masks at home. The business says sales have never been better.
We quadrupled our business in April, and we've pretty much doubled our business ever since then. Every month it's just been a record month for us, and it's been like I said, a great thing for our employees working because we have a lot of people that are on commission, so naturally their income's got a little bit of a boost because of that.
The owner tells NBC7 he brought back all 18 furloughed employees and hired an additional 10 workers over the last couple of months. Well, if you're one of the thousands of people in San Diego out of a job right now due to coronavirus, Amazon says they have 100,000 positions ready to be filled. They kicked off a virtual career fair today. If you're interested, all you need to do is head to AmazonCareerDay.com. You can join panels and discussions this week with career experts to help you find the right fit. Good luck if you're looking. It's going to do it for our Nightly Check-In. I'm Mark Mullen. Have a good night.